and the way God sees us, in a sense, he sort of knows where all this is headed. And our planet life is really a great negotiation of sorts between the gifts that God has given us and who it is we want to be. Neither one nor the other completely determines our future. We have a say in how things are going to go and how things are going to end up. And as we go through life, we practice exerting our influence over the world around us, not a complete influence, in terms of moving forward into the future we desire and hope for. And perhaps there's no one plays a more important role than the mother of a family in doing that. And I'm going to just take a small digression in my homily here and just remind us of why the spiritual motherhood of Mary is so powerful and so important to us. See, Jesus, when he came into the world, he was a good Jew in Israel at the time, and he would have followed the 10 Commandments. And one of the most important of the commandments is to honor your father and your mother. And Jesus needed to honor Mary. Now, if you or I sought to honor our mother, we would perhaps give her the best gift that we could give, whatever it might be. But Jesus, of course, is way more powerful, and he gave Mary the best gifts that he could think of. Not a pile of $1 million in the back room or a pile of gold or something like that. No, he gave Mary two specific things that come to us today, impact us today. One is he made her full of grace and all the different beauties of grace and different virtues that one could have to live to make her honorable, that all would give honor. And second, he wanted to give her something that would allow each and every human being to give her honor. Because if you have a mother, you want to honor your mother, you just want to be, I'm honoring my mother, but like other people to recognize the greatness of her. And so, on the cross, Jesus gave Mary to each and every one of us as our spiritual mother, where St. John took the place of all the disciples. Woman, behold your son. Son, behold your mother. Each one of us has Mary as a spiritual mother. And Jesus wants each one of us to give her honor. And we do that through the graces that he has given to her. It's not that Father Lou has received some grace from Mary and therefore I honor Mary. That's not how it works. No, the grace is that each one of us receives graces from Mary, and we honor her because of those graces each one of us has received. When I do robotics, as you know, I'm the coach of a robotics team. One of the things I'm most proud of is not that I build good robots, but that the kids build good robots. The people who are there know what they're doing. They learn how to do it. I point to them, look at that good thing that they have done and seeing how they've done it. And that's what the kids did that. Yes, that's my joy is not me. My joy is when the students do it. And it's the same way in a sense with honoring Mary. It's not we get great joy and say, well, we honor Mary because we have, but it's when each and every believer, each and every person has that relationship with Mary to help them to grow to Jesus. And that today is the important point of my homily. How will you develop in your relationship to Mary on this feast of Mary, Help of Christians? Ask Mary for the assistance you need in your life. Allow her to give it to you. Allow the graces that Jesus has given to be shared with her, through her, for you, so that you may come from your own personal experience to honor Mary in your life. Because that's what we're called upon to do. That's the grace. And if you feel like you're asking for something that's impossible, turn back to the example of the gospel today, where Mary says, it's not time. Jesus says it's not time for these graces to be worked right now. And Mary ignores them completely and asks for the favor. Because that's how it is for each and every one of us. The reason all of Don Bosco's children throughout the centuries have continued to extol the virtues of Mary is because they've received these graces that they have. And I encourage you today to put your trust in Mary and be willing to ask for the gifts that you need for whatever you need in life, for those roles and goals, to help you to see whatever your future is. Let Mary be of motherly assistance to you. The second part of today's celebration is the recognition of our juniors who will be becoming the seniors and leaders in the school very shortly. Really, the seniors are gone, so they've taken the place. And to you, I say this: who is it that you seek to be? Because this is a celebration of you. As we look at those family albums, and each time we see the small kid with the shovel at the beach, and then we see maybe a kid with a baseball bat or a soccer ball, and ever growing up, all the different aspects of growing up, one of the most important aspects is to take your rightful place as senior leaders in this school. And no one can take that place for you. There is no one who can exert the leadership among the students as you do. When you do your college applications and other things as you go through the life, people ask you, well, what leadership experience did you have? Were you a captain on the team? You're president of a club? How did you exert your role in the running of the school? Because that's a part of where you need to be at this time of your life. No one can do it for you. And now it is time to look deep down into your hearts. If your sports team is behind, who will give the message that rouses the team to come to victory? If you're in a group of doing different things, who will help guide the group in a way that's positive and shows the school an honor versus negative and brings dishonor? Who is it that you want to be in your exercise of the roles? This is the day you both accept the responsibility, but also, I would suggest, ask for the gifts that you need to carry out your role well and fully. Because no matter what we as teachers, administrators can do in the school, no one can take the place of the student leadership. And so today, we give you pins and other symbols of the office to which you're receiving, the office of being the student leaders in the school. But the pin is one thing, actions are another. We pray for you today at this Mass and throughout the upcoming year that the leadership and the gifts that God has given you will come to fruition in a way that builds up and not tears down, in a way that calls together, not causes selfishness, in a way that gives honor and glory to all around. Because the honor and glory of the school is your honor and glory, and the honor and glory of you is the honor and glory of the school. Jesus has arranged all things